What made you think that Bruce was the guy for this? Because I know you talked, when we talked about it, you said you knew, but why did you think?
Well, it was more than me. I mean, it was really Hunter and I, way back when, I had turned Hunter on to Withnell and then how to get ahead in advertising. And lost his mind, you know. I mean, he watched them over and over and over, and oh God. It's so far away. It's like a tease. It's there, but you can't really have it. I don't know what they've given us.
It's the wine of the sacrament. I think we're good here.
Ah, yeah, of course. Oh, we're in the church, of course. So yeah, Bruce.
What was Hunter's reaction to Withnell and I, by the way? What did he say?
He adored it. I mean, he adored it, and he obviously related to it, in a huge way. But I really believe that Hunter. Yeah, hi. I believe Hunter watching Withnell for the first time, it was kind of like reliving his days of Fear and Loathing, you know. I mean, that savage time in Vegas with Oscar Acosta, you know, in 1970, and he really, you know, felt his youth again, you know.
But the thing you were telling me too, that you thought the reason that Hunter would respond to Bruce was that sort of trying to sort of hold on to what you were as the creeping insanity came into your life. And was that what Hunter responded to, that sort of fighting both sides of yourself at the same time?
Most definitely, yeah. Most definitely. I mean, Hunter really was, you know, there was a side of Hunter that was the one that we all know, the one that we all read about, the one that we all read from his words, from his, you know, insane sort of situations. But there was another side to Hunter that was a very moral and a complete Southern gentleman, you know. So there was always that sort of that tipping point between the two, you know. There was the kind of schism of this sort of this moral fiber, you know, the Southern gentleman, this you know, man of, you know, chivalrous man, and then the savage, the maniac.
This is the thing that really strikes me about the movie. We talked about it a little bit backstage. The colors, it looks like a 50s Technicolor print. I mean, the color really pops. That a gorgeous blue. There's blue in almost every frame, in the way it's contrasted with the red and the whites and those earth tones. I mean, it's really like a 50s Technicolor movie, and that must have been your aim with it. Somebody.
All right, I'm going to answer for Bruce. No, the idea initially was to have this thing play like, you know, sort of like we talked about it, like an old postcard, you know, a beautiful old postcard from Puerto Rico, where everything was slightly heightened in color. And Darius Wolski, our director of photography, who is, you know, just kind of a wizard, sat with Bruce and they went through, you know, what is the process, how do we do this, you know, and there was, basically it was 16, you know, wasn't it? It was...
Yeah.
He said we're going to shoot this in 16 mil, and I don't know the fucking difference between that and I genuinely don't. But he said, oh man, we're going to shoot this 16 mil. So I said, all right, and then he shot a few tests. And it was so pretty. And, oh, Johnny.
It was pretty.
It was so beautiful what he'd done. Because honestly, genuinely, he got me out of the fucking grave for this thing.
Bruce had decided he'd made a film which will remain unmentionable, he likes it to remain unmentionable.
I
I
do.
mustn't say the name, but
Although
he,
the same composer worked on this film, by the way, Christopher Young worked
Yeah.
on both.
That is
Yeah.
absolutely true.
That's a great score for that.
yeah. But he'd made this.
Fucking screw me, didn't they?
Yeah, you don't want to get into that now, probably. But he made a film and he went into hibernation for like far too long, and he was. Oh, that's not a good sign, is it? That's going.
Am I done?
No,
Am I
that's
done?
going. That's going down.
What have I done?
That's going down.
Not like this Q&A is going to.
Oh, boy, we're having such a fucking nice time tonight.
To the church.
That's how you get it off the arm.
Well played, sir. Before we have to send out for coffee and blankets, we should take some questions from the audience. Is there a mic going on? How are we doing this? Because this is my first time on the stage in this theater. Is there? All right, we'll just start in the front. Shout it out. Yes, ma'am.
My question's for Johnny. I know you spent some good quality time with...
Probably, hang on one second.
Hi, Johnny. Cheers. Bruce, it's so good to see you.
Nice to see you too, honey. Thank you for coming.
I know you get to spend a lot of good quality time with Hunter and Owl Creek before filming Fear and Loathing. So before filming Rum Diary, how did you kind of channel the great late Hunter S. Thompson?
It's a very good question. Basically, because I'd spent so much time with Hunter. You know, I mean, I lived with him essentially for months and months on end, and sponged as much of his soul as of his being as I could, and he was incredibly generous with me. So we'd already had those talks. Like I knew where his head was at, in the late 50s, early 60s, when he was trying to find his voice, And that was the sort of key, the idea that I had already played Hunter, full-blown Hunter, in Raoul Duke, in sort of circa 71, 72. And then going back to the 50s, trying, this guy who's just searching for the avenue, for that rage. And so basically everything falls back to Hunter. He was just so generous, Yeah. How about Hell's Angels? Should we do Hell's Angels? Really? What about Curse of Lono? Just keep going in the Hunter. Yeah, all right. I'll just keep shaving my head. All right.
Romeo, come back up here and join us.
Sorry.